Okay, so standing to start us this morning, we're going to do a little set of regular squats, some wide-legged squats and some lunges. So we'll start with our feet hip width apart. We're going to just start with some toe balances. So we're going to be raising up onto our toes, bringing our arms overhead, and then slowly bringing the heels back down, bringing the arms back down. You can work with your breath, inhaling as you lift, exhaling as you lower. Nice and slowly peeling the foot off the mat and then bringing the foot slowly back down again. Let's go for 5 more, lifting up with our breath, inhaling, exhaling as we come back down. Really nice. We've got 4 left. Warming up those toes and feet this morning. It is a morning for the feet to be feeling a little cold. Okay, we're on our last 3. Last 2. Nice and slowly, and last 1. Inhaling to raise, exhaling to lower. Well done. You can take the feet a little wider, turning the toes out, heels in. Hands can come to the waist or they can come to chest center if you prefer. And we're just going for 10 regular squats first. So we're just squatting down, bringing our pelvis down as low as we can, squeezing the glutes when we come back up. And 9, tracking the knees out over the toes. Pardon?
What should we do with our breath?
Maybe exhaling as you go down, inhaling as you come back up if that feels good, but if you have a different pattern that works for you, also welcome here. These ones aren't exactly traditional Pilates, but you know, squats are really good for our body. So adding them in can be just really good for our bone health as we're aging. Okay, we're on our last 4. Last 3, nice and tall. When we come up, squeeze the glutes. Last 2. And last 1. All right, let the arms come down. Maybe shake out the arms and legs a little bit. We'll take our feet just a little wider. Maybe just taking, if you want to turn to the side, that might be easier for you, just so you're staying on your mat. And we're just going to do 10 wide-legged squats. We'll take our arms overhead for this one. And then as we bend the knees, we'll bend the elbows. Keep the chest nice and lifted, nice and straightened to come up tall. Well done. Exhaling as you come down. Inhaling as you straighten up. And we'll go for 6. And 5. Last 4. Last 3. Last 2. And last 1. Okay, when you straighten everything, let everything relax down. We'll face to the front again, and we're just going to finish our standing set with some curtsy lunges. So those ones, the hand's probably easiest at the chest center for this one. Curtsy lunge just means that we're taking our, if we start with our right foot, we're taking our right foot behind our left, lunging down, and then coming back up. No, not this morning. If you want to take a straight back lunge, that's okay as well. Curtsy lunge if you're in for it, on the right leg first. Squat or lunging down and back up. And we'll go for 8 and 7 and 6. Last 5 and 4, 3 and 2 and 1, and we'll swap to do the other leg, and 10 on this side and back up. 9, that's it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, give everything a shake out. We're going to come down to seated. Make your way there. I'm just going to close this part of my screen because I don't have anyone joining me. Okay, so when we come down to seated, the legs are out in front of us. A little space between the legs. If you want to, you could track from the center of your kneecap to your hip bones just to make sure that the legs are hip width apart and parallel. So a little space, as I said, between the legs. Flex the feet and the legs are nice and active. We're sitting up onto our sit bones, maybe flashing out the sit bones if we need to. The shoulders are nice and relaxed, maybe giving a roll of the shoulders if we need to. Just notice our belly as well here as we sit up tall, drawing our bottom rib down towards our hip. That might mean that we might slightly tilt our shoulders forward rather than leaning into our back and having our belly and our ribs flaring to the front. So we're almost like we're rolling slightly forward so we can get those ribs tucking down to the hips. The arms are going to be out in front of us. We're going to start with some C curves here. So that means we're making a C curve shape from the top of our head to our tailbone. A lovely C shape with our back. We're rolling back, taking an inhale, and then exhaling, rolling back up. Oh, hi Mary, how are you?
Good morning.
Okay, take your time, taking an inhale, and then exhale. Roll back into that lovely C shape. Just before you roll all the way down, take a pause, take an inhale, and then exhale, restack the body all the way back up. Inhale, exhale, roll back, making that lovely C shape with our spine. Inhale, exhale, restack. We've got 3 more. Inhale, exhale, roll back. Be careful with the shoulders, keep them away from the ears. Inhale, exhale, back up. Last 2. Inhale, exhale, roll back. Inhale, exhale, back up. Last 1. Inhale, exhale, roll back. Inhale and exhale all the way back up. Okay, relax the arms, relax the legs for a minute. We're going to do some more C curves. We're going to take a bend in the knees this time. Bless you, whoever that was. Feet on the floor. And this time as we lean back, we're going to lean back, we're going to open the knees, close the knees, and then come all the way back up. Alright, so we're going to do 5 of these ones as well. So a good distance between the heel and the sit bone for this one, just to keep our balance, but sitting up nice and tall each time between our start and end. Okay, inhale, exhale, roll back, hold it, open the knees, close the knees, inhale, exhale all the way back up. Inhale, exhale, roll back, open the knees, bring them back. Inhale and exhale, back up. We've got 3 left. Inhale, exhale, roll back, open the knees, back to parallel. Inhale, exhale, roll up. I think we're on our last 2. Inhale, exhale, roll back, open the knees, back to parallel. Inhale and exhale, back up. Last 1. Inhale, exhale, roll back, open the knees, back to parallel. Inhale and exhale all the way back up. Okay, again, give everything a shake out if you need it. Will you let me know if we need to turn back on the cold air? Are we feeling okay with the temperature so far?
We need it.
We need the cold air?
What about the fan?
Maybe.
The
The
fan?
light comes on.
What's these to do
The
that?
light turns on. Okay, you see.
Yeah.
Whatever Jennifer says.
The cold air or the
1 degree.
Susie.
1 degree on the cold air.
One
Yeah, 1
degree.
degree.
1 degree down. Okay. I am feeling warm at the front, so it's not just you guys.
What?
Yeah,
It's just me.
me too.
I think I got it. Let's see how that works. I think it was actually on off.
You hit it
So-
twice.
Yeah, I turned it on to on and I dropped the temperature, so we'll give it a second to kick in. Okay, we're going for full roll downs next. The toes, I like to suggest pointed for your full roll downs because they just help to keep your legs nice and active. We're pressing the legs against the mat there, trying not to lift off as we lift up when we're coming back up off the mat. So our full roll down, we're rolling all the way down onto the mat. Head is down, arms are overhead. We take our arms overhead with an inhale and then we exhale, come all the way back up. Once we come to seated, we take an inhale, we exhale, spine stretch, reaching the crown of our head forward. Inhale and then we exhale all the way back up to seated. We're going to go for 4 of these if we can. If they become too much, just come back to those C curves that we've just been doing, coming back up, and then once you come to seated, add your spine stretch and back to seated. Okay, so there are your 2 options, full roll down or a C curve with the spine stretch. When you're ready, take your inhale, exhale, slowly rolling down, control the lowering down onto the mat. As the head comes down, the arms come to the mat above you. Inhale, take your hands to the sky. Exhale, lift your head, shoulders off the mat, peeling back up to a seated position. Inhale, exhale, spine stretch, reaching through the crown of the head. Inhale and exhale, restack. Okay, 3 more, nice and slow. Inhale, exhale, roll down, one vertebrae at a time down onto the mat. Head is down, arms come overhead. Inhale, take your hands to the sky. Exhale, draw yourself up. Press into the mat with the feet and the legs all the way up to seated. Inhale, exhale, spine stretch, right, rounding through the top of the spine. Inhale, exhale, restack to left. Inhale, exhale, roll down, all the way down. Well done. Head is down, arms come overhead. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, lifting up. Nice and slowly back up to seated. Inhale, and then exhale, spine stretch all the way forward. Inhale, exhale, restack. Last one. Inhale, exhale, rolling down. When the head is down, the arms come overhead. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, all the way up to seated. Inhale, when you come to seated, exhale, spine stretch. Inhale, and then exhale, restack. Back up to seated, let the arms come down, give the legs a little shake out. We doing okay?
Yeah.
All right. From here, we're going to do some little leg lifts. So keeping the legs that hip width apart. The hands can be resting gently beside you for this one. We're trying not to bring the whole palm down because we don't want to collapse our body. Actually, I think it feels better if I face this way so that you can see the profile of my body. So we're trying not to collapse our body like this. We're still thinking Pilates. We're still thinking about drawing the ribs down towards the hips. The shoulders are nice and broad. The shoulder blades are flat on our back. So the hands are just here for a little bit of support, but if you think you can take them off as you're moving through, you're always welcome just to bring them maybe onto the chest or just at the hips, either, whichever feels better. So leg lifts, we're just lifting the leg off the mat. We're trying not to use the body now, we're keeping the body nice and steady. So it might just be a fraction that we're lifting it off the mat. We're activating our quads and our hip flexors at the front. The hands are there for a little bit of balance if we need it. Okay, keep the breath flowing. There's no right or wrong breathing here, but just keep breathing. That's the most important thing. Okay, we're going to go for last 4 on this side, last 4 here, last 3, last 3, last 2, last 2, last 1, last 1. Okay, legs have a little moment. We're going to come to a reverse tabletop now, or a reverse plank, and then we're going to add that little leg lift to that in a moment. So I'll just demonstrate the 2 options that you have. You probably have done these ones in yoga if you haven't done them in Pilates before. So the hands are behind you, about a foot and a half behind you. Fingers can be facing to the side or to the back for the Pilates version. In yoga we tend to turn our fingers towards our feet. And then you can come to just a reverse tabletop if you like, or you can come to reverse plank where the body is in one long line. For this one, keep our gaze. I like to look towards where the ceiling and the corner of the wall meet, rather than looking up straight, just so we protect our neck. We're going to hold it for a count of 5, slowly lower ourselves back down. We're going to do 3 sets, whichever version you want to come to. Okay, when you're ready, take an inhale, lifting your body, reverse plank, reverse tabletop, holding for 5, 4, keep breathing, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower your pelvis down, release the shoulders, release the wrists. We're going to go for 2 more sets, whichever option you were coming to. Take an inhale, exhale, lift, reverse plank or reverse tabletop, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lowering down. If you're noticing the wrists are becoming an issue, you could always be on the forearms for this one. You're not going to get as much elevation, but you're still activating the core and the lift of the pelvis. Okay, last one. Inhale and exhale, lift yourself up, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Come back down. Take a little breather, release the wrists, release the shoulders. Okay. As promised, we're going to combine those 2 now. We're just going to do 2 last sets. So it's going to be either reverse tabletop with an extension of the leg for the leg lift. So we're just kicking straight out from the knee. And if we're doing reverse plank, we're in reverse plank, And we're doing leg pull, which is the full exercise. We're going to lift our legs for the same 5 count if you're able to manage. If it's feeling too much on the wrists and the shoulders, just come back to the leg lifts in the seated option. So you have a few different variations. Okay, so either reverse tabletop or reverse plank. And then we're lifting through the legs for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If you're lifted, slowly lowering the pelvis, relax the body. We've just got one last set to do. We're nearly there. Nice and strong through the back line. When you're ready, take an inhale. Exhale, lifting yourself up. And last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lowering down. Take a little moment to relax the body. Shake it all out. Okay, we're finishing our seated set with our spine stretch. We already did some spine stretches when we were doing our roll up, or our roll down rather. Our spine stretch is just where we're curving from the bottom of the rib cage to the top of the head. So the bottom part of our torso, from the bottom of the ribs down to our pelvis, stays nice and flat. We're trying to maintain that flat back. We're just reaching and rounding through the upper back and reaching through the crown of the head, through the fingertips. We take our inhale and then we exhale, restack. We're going to go for 4 of these, a nice stretch for our spine. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, spine stretch, reaching forward. Take your inhale, exhale, restack all the way back up. As we restack, think about the spine coming into alignment, shoulders, neck and head. 3 more. Inhale, exhale, reach forward, lengthening through the crown of the head. Inhale, exhale, restack, slowly restacking the spine, shoulders, neck and head. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, reach forward, a nice rounding of the spine. Inhale, exhale, restack, slowly restacking spine, shoulders, neck and head. Last one. Inhale, exhale, reach and round, reaching as far forward as you can. Inhale, exhale, restack, restacking the body all the way back up. Well done. Let the arms relax, let the legs relax. We're going to bend our knees, feet on the floor. Take your hands gently behind the back of the thighs and slowly start to roll yourself down onto your back. When you get down to the back, you can take a moment with windshield wiper the knees or hug the knees into the chest. Just take a little moment to reset and have a little bit of gentle movement, and we'll start our back lying set then in just a moment. Okay. Let the breath just reset as well. Come back to whatever pattern of breathing you want for just a few more moments. All right. Whenever you're ready then, we'll take our legs back to a bent position to keep the feet on the floor. We're just going to start with a little awareness of our pelvis. So take our little Pilates compass, bring our thumbs to touch, our first fingers to touch, and bring that down onto our pelvis. Heels of the hands are resting on the hip bones, the fingers are resting down onto your pubic bone, and a few tilts of the pelvis forward and back. As we tilt our pelvis backwards, our pubic bone comes higher than our hip bones, and our lower back comes onto the mat. As we tilt our pelvis forwards, the hip bones come a little higher than the pubic bone, and our lower back lifts away from the mat. So last couple of tilts forward and back, nice and gentle, nothing too dramatic. And then we're starting to find a neutral central position where our hip bones and our pubic bone feel like they're flat in one plane, flat underneath our hands, and they should feel parallel with the ceiling above you as well. We'll take our hands then and bring our thumb onto our 10th rib, our first or second finger to rest on our hip bones just to the side of the body. That's it. And then we're going to take 3 rounds of breath here just to find our rib to hip connection lying down. So take an inhale into the side and the back of the ribs, press your body against the mat. Exhale, then draw your ribs down towards your hips, feeling that belly engaging. We'll do 2 more. Inhale into the side and the back of the ribs, trying not to flare to the front. Exhale, draw those ribs down towards the hips, deep abdominal engagement. 1 more time. Inhale into the side and the back of the ribs. Exhale, draw those ribs down towards the hips. That's where we want to keep the belly nice and engaged, keep the ribs tucking down to the hips, keep the pelvis nice and neutral. Notice that we're maybe that the shoulders are flat on the mat as well. The chest is nice and broad, the shoulder blades are flat on the mat behind you, and slightly lift the head to tuck the chin towards the chest just for a fraction so that you can really lengthen the back of your neck. We're trying to imagine that we're keeping that long neck at the back, and we want to keep a little bit of space underneath the chin. Imagine you have a little peach there. You're trying not to squash the peach when you bring the chin into the chest, but really it's more about the length at the back of the neck. That's our main focus. Okay, with our body in that alignment, our feet are about our feet are hip width apart, but they're also our shoe size from our sit bones, so not too close to the body and not too far away. Okay, when you're ready, then take your arms to the mat above you. As you lift the arms, be careful that we don't flare the ribs. Keep the ribs tucking down to the hips. Keep your shoulders away from the ears. Arms are on the mat. Okay, take an inhale with the arms on the mat. Exhale, lift the arms, lift the head, neck and shoulders. Bring your fingers towards your feet, rounding through the top body. Inhale here. Exhale, lower the arms all the way down. Lower the head, neck and shoulders. It's like a little small and slow crunch. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Squeeze the abdominals as you draw yourself up. Bring your fingers towards your feet. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lower down. Okay, keep working with your breath. I'm just going to give you a few more cues. As you lift up, we're just lifting to bring our shoulder blades off the mat. The very tip of your shoulder blade, the little pointy bit, that's the bit that should be just still resting on the mat. That's as far as we go. Inhale. Exhale, come back down. As we lift as well, we're lifting with our chest and with our upper back and our shoulders, trying not to lift with our neck. So we're trying to leave no tension in the neck. Maybe as you come up, you can twist the head left and right and notice that the neck is nice and loose, it's not tense. That means that we're lifting with the chest and the shoulders and the abdominal muscles a little more. Okay, we're going to go for our last three. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale at the top and exhale, lower. To left, inhale, exhale, lift. Squeeze the belly. Inhale, exhale, lower. Last one, inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale and exhale, lower. When the arms come back down to the mat, take a little moment. You can let the arms come back down alongside the body. A little moment to move, maybe windshield wiper the knees, maybe hug the knees into the chest. Okay, we're going to add in legs for another few rounds. So the legs for this one are going to start in a tabletop position, which just means bringing the knee over the hip. So we're bending the legs, stacking the knee on top of the hip. The lower back should be staying lifted away from the mat. We're really squeezing the belly button back towards the spine. The belly is the bit that's engaging. The lower back and the back muscles are not doing any work here. So try and maintain that little lift of the lower back. The arms are coming back to the mat above our head. And we're doing the same thing with the upper body. The legs are just starting here in this tabletop. So inhale with the arms on the mat. Exhale, lift your head, neck and shoulders off the mat. Bring your fingers towards the front of the mat. Inhale, exhale, slowly lower back down. Okay, we're going to go for two more with the legs in tabletop. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lower. One more like this. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lower. Okay, this time as we lift, inhale, lift the upper body. On your exhale, extend the legs long, bring your feet towards the sky. Inhale, exhale, rebend the knees as you bring the upper body back down. So inhale, exhale, lift, extend the legs, point the toes towards the sky. Inhale, exhale, slowly return to bent knees and arms on the mat. Two more. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale and exhale, lower. Okay, take a little moment again. Hug the knees, windshield wiper, whatever you need to do. Just check on my notes where we're going next. Oh yeah. Okay. So a little opportunity for a little lower abdominal work in this one. We're going to be working our legs. The upper body, if we're starting to feel any tension or discomfort in the neck, you can leave the upper body on the mat. But if you want a little bit more of a challenge, that same lifted position that we were coming in and out of a moment ago, we're just going to be staying in this lifted position. That tuck of the chin slightly towards the chest, but keeping that little bit of space. We're resting on the very tip of our shoulder blades. This is where we leave the body as long as we're having no issues with our neck. The legs are going to come to tabletop, bending the knees. But this time we're going to bring our feet together though. And we're keeping the knees open. The arms can be down alongside you. I like to keep them parallel to the mat, but just reaching down towards the end of the mat. And then we're just bringing the knees to touch and opening the knees. Keep the feet together as we open and close through the knees. And keeping the knees stacking over the hips. That is the best way to keep the belly engaged and keep the lower back lifted. If you're feeling that this is quite manageable, you could lower the feet a little bit more towards the mat, still continuing with that open and close of the knees. That will target a little deeper and lower with the abdominals. If you're not feeling anything, let me know. I'll come and check to make sure the alignment looks good. Keep working with your breath, maybe inhaling to return to center, exhaling as you open the legs. Let's go for our last few here. Last 4. Last 3, last 2, last 1. Okay, let the upper body come back down, let the feet come back down to the mat, take a little moment to recover. We're going to come back to a similar setup. We're going to be either lifted or lowered with the upper body. The legs are going to start in that tabletop position with our knees open and our feet touching. And then we're going to do a little toe tap down to the mat. Alternating the feet. That's the easiest way to describe it. Okay, so the upper body either staying on the mat here or lifting your head, neck and shoulders off the mat, reaching those fingers down towards the end of the mat again. Arms are parallel to the mat. Knees come to stack over the hips. Bring your feet to touch. Open the knees a little wider. And again, keeping the knees over the hips for the easier option. Lowering the kneecap towards the front of the mat for a little bit harder. And then we're just tapping right toe to the mat, left toe to the mat. Keeping the body nice and steady. It's a tap and bring the leg back up. Okay, keep the belly engaged, keep the lower back lifted away from the mat if you can. Really pressing in with the sacrum and the rib cage. We are holding tension and stability in the body, but keep breathing. Maybe tapping with an exhale, inhale, return. Exhale, tap, inhale, return. Slowing the movement down if you need to match your breath. We're going to go for last 3 on this side, last 3 on this side. Last 2, last 2, last 1, last 1. Slowly let the head, neck and shoulders come back down, hug the knees in or drop the feet in windshield wiper. We all felt those few. We did a little knee opening set last week, and at the end of the class they all came to me and said, I didn't feel anything in that one. I said, why didn't you tell me when we were doing it, because I would have come and helped you. Yeah, the reports afterwards. So we were feeling
away, huh?
Yep.
Away.
We did that whole session, I didn't feel anything. You were telling me it was lower abdominals, I didn't feel it. I was like, oh, right, well, next week we will do it harder. Okay, we're going to do some leg circles. These are single leg circles. So the right leg is going to do the work first. The left leg can stay bent with the foot on the floor, or you can extend the left leg. And if that leg is extended, point the toe or flex the foot. Just keep the whole left leg nice and active. The upper body is staying on the mat for this one, so we're leaving our head, neck and shoulders on the mat. The arms can be down alongside you, maybe turning the palms face down, pressing the fingers and palms against the mat. So the right leg is coming to extension, pointing the toe or flexing the foot, bringing it towards the sky. And then we're just circling that right leg and right foot in one direction for 5 circles, and then we're reversing it for 5 in the opposite direction. Nice and slow. Make the circle as big as feels comfortable for you. Nice and slowly. I think we're on circle 3. If you're with me, circle 4 and circle 5. And then reversing your circle for 5 in the opposite direction. Nice and slow and controlled. Try to keep the body nice and steady. This movement should just be happening, your thigh bone in your hip socket. We're on last 3. Keep breathing into the belly. Last 2. And last 1. All right, when that one is done, bring the right leg back down, either flattening that leg against the mat, point the toe or flex the foot, or keep the leg bent if that feels more comfortable on the right side. And then the left leg is coming to extension, point the toe or flex the foot, and slowly circling in one direction for 5 and 4, 3 and 2 and 1. Reverse your circle in the opposite direction for 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. All right, bring the left leg back down. If you want to do a full body stretch, maybe extending the arms overhead, reaching and stretching from the fingertips all the way down to the toes. Ooh, that feels good. Okay. Our last one in our supine set is going to be our 100. I haven't forgotten about it, don't worry. So for your 100, while you're still just recovering your body for a second, I'll just give you the couple of setups we can do. So the upper body, again, if we're having any tension in the neck, I'd recommend just leaving the upper body on the mat. But if it's feeling okay, we're lifting up to rest on those shoulder blades again. We're starting with our legs in tabletop for everybody. The arms are down alongside us. The palms are facing down this time because we're going to imagining that we're bouncing 2 basketballs underneath our hands. When we're moving through our 10 breaths, the legs can either stay in tabletop or they can start to come to those extended positions, so bringing the feet towards the sky, maybe lowering the legs down towards the mat. And you can work through any of those 3 settings as we move through the 10 breaths. The count for the breath in particular for our 100 is an inhale for 5, exhale for 5, and we're doing 10 sets of that breath. I'll do the counting. You guys just need to focus on breathing and maintaining your body. So we'll start in tabletop, bring the legs to tabletop, knees stacking over your hips. The feet and knees can come to touch if that feels better for this one. And then the upper body either lying on the mat or slightly lifted, raising up onto the tip of your shoulder blades. Arms alongside you, palms facing down. And we start to bounce those 2 basketballs, lock out the elbows, arms nice and strong. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 9, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring the feet back down, lower the upper body. Take a little breather, a little bit of movement or a bit of stillness, whatever the body needs. We feeling okay? Okay. I was feeling like it was getting just a little bit too cold, so I've just bumped this to a fraction higher, but it should settle down now again. Okay, we're going to move on to our front lying set. There's no rush to get there, but we're going to just come on to our bellies whenever you're ready. So maybe bringing your head towards the front of the room just for the ease to look up if you need to watch me. So as you're coming down onto your belly, trying not to flare those ribs again. So tuck your ribs down towards your hips, which will mean that we're not lifting through our chest. We are engaging the belly, drawing those ribs down, and our nose will be just hovering above the mat. We're resting down. The legs are going to slightly roll inwards, so I like to describe it as the inner seams of your leggings or your trousers rolling inwards towards the centre of the mat, or bringing your heels towards the centre of the mat and the big toes outwards. So the legs are just gently active here. Taking a moment just to notice the pelvis, the hip bones and the pubic bone are trying to be as flat towards the mat as possible, and that means that the lower back is having no tension or engagement. We should feel that the lower back is nice and relaxed. Again, those ribs are down towards the hips, the shoulders are nice and broad, the arms are reaching up in front of us, just overhead, resting them on the mat. As we lift the arms, just be careful that we didn't flare the ribs and that we didn't lift the shoulders up too close to our ears. Okay, so we're starting with swimming, in case you hadn't guessed it with our setup. Swimming, we're going to lift the upper body for 3 sets, lift the legs for 3 sets, lift all of the body off the mat for 3 sets, and then we'll add in our movement on the last set. So when we're lifting the arms, we're lifting chest as well as the arms. We're moving on our exhales, inhale at the top and then exhale to lower back down again. When we're ready, take your inhale, exhale, lift your arms, lift your chest, inhale, exhale, slowly lower back down. Really engaging the belly as you lift. Inhale, exhale, lift, inhale, exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, exhale, lift, inhale, exhale, lower. Okay, the upper body rests. We're lifting the legs. Point the toes or flex the feet. Inhale, exhale, lift the legs, inhale, exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, lift, inhale, exhale, lower. 1 more. Inhale, exhale, lift the legs, inhale, and exhale, lower. Well done. Okay, we're going to lift the whole body this time. 3 rounds, lifting the arms and the legs together. When you're ready, take an inhale, exhale, lift, inhale, exhale, lower with control. Try not to collapse down. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, lift, inhale, exhale, lower. Lovely. Last one. Inhale, exhale, lift, inhale, exhale, lower. Okay, for a little brief reprieve in between, if you want to stack the hands, bend the knees, let the feet sway side to side. We want tension, but we don't want to continue to hold it for too long, so just give yourself a little bit of movement. And maybe just lifting the head. Just if you haven't done swimming before, I'll just show you how it's going to look. So we're going to be lifting up into that lifted position, and then we start to move opposite arm, opposite leg. If you can't quite get the opposites, just 1 arm and 1 leg moving. Keep the body nice and steady. What we don't want is all of this happening. The body is staying nice and steady, so we really move nice and slowly. Again, it's the same breath count as our hundreds. Inhaling for 5, exhaling for 5, but we're just going to do 5 rounds of breath this time. Okay, so when you're ready, preparing yourself nice and long through the back of the neck, looking down at your mat. When you're ready, take your inhale, exhale, lift the body, and then start to move opposite arm, opposite leg. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly let the body come back down. Again, maybe stacking the hands, bending the knees, let the feet sway side to side. Well done. So ideally in swimming, and for any of these front lying ones, we really want to think about belly engagement to protect our lower back. The lower back is getting a bit of engagement, but really we're trying to draw the belly button back to the spine. It's an engagement of the front of the body and more of a strengthening of the back muscles. All right, so the hands can stay stacked and the upper body resting on the mat for single leg kick, or you can come up into Sphinx arms, lifting the upper body off the mat, pressing into the elbows, stacking the shoulders over the elbows, lifting the pelvis off the mat. And this is our other option for single leg kick. So single leg kick, we're just kicking a heel to the glute for 2 pulses and lowering the leg back down, heel to the glute and back down. So we're targeting our glutes and our hamstrings. Flex the foot as you bring the heel to the glute Keep the neck nice and long, looking down towards your mat. Keep breathing. Keep the belly engaged. Keep tucking your ribs down towards your hips. It's still front of the body. Still belly engaged. Belly button back towards your spine. Nice deep abdominal engagement. Okay. Let's go for last 5 on this leg. Last 5 on this leg. Last 4. Last 4. Last 3. And 3. Last 2. And 2. Last 1. Last 1. Okay. If you are lifted, slowly lowering yourself back down onto the mat. If you want to do that same, bend the knees, sway the feet. Alright, our last one, our front, is going to be our double leg kick today as well. So same principle, we're bringing the heels into the glutes. This time it's 2 legs together and lowering back down, heels to the glutes and back down. Few options for your upper body for double leg kick. If you want to just let the upper body be relaxed, you can just stay here with the hands stacked and the upper body resting on the mat. You can be in that same Sphinx arms pose and just lifting here. Or if you want to come to the full pose or full exercise as described and designed by Joseph Pilates, the arms are behind the back, the hands are interlaced resting on our lower pelvis. And then as we draw the heels in, we bring the legs back down, we lift through the chest. Heels to the glutes, lower back down, lift through the chest. Okay, so you've got a few different options. Even if you start with one, you can always change as you're going through. Lifting up. Well done. Targeting our hamstrings, no matter which option we're going for. We're on our last 5. Last 4. Last 3, last 2, last 1. Okay, rest the body, sway the legs, anything you need, or if you want to even come to a child's pose now, that might feel quite nice. Pressing the body back, take the knees nice and wide, reaching the arms long, or bring the knees together and wrap the arms down around the legs. Create a little ball shape with your body. Take a few breaths there. Okay. Well done. We're coming towards our last little bit. We're going to be ending with a little side lying set today. So we'll take our head towards the back of the room, our feet towards the front of the room, and we'll come to lie to face this wall with our backs to the mirrors. So as we lie down, we can either be lying, I'll just stand up to demonstrate that part. We can be lying with our arm flat on the mat and our head resting on our upper arm, with the body resting on the mat. And we'll bring both legs to bent to start us off. Trying to bring your shoulder, hip and ankle in one line. So that means that the knees are drawing quite far forward on your mat. Stacking the knees on top of knees, ankles on top of ankles. And then we're going to take our top leg, bring it up to about hip height. So it's not going to be resting against the lower leg. We're going to bring it up, flex that top foot, and then we're going to bring ankle to ankle and then knee to knee. So it's a rotation, keeping the leg bent, knee to knee, ankle to ankle. I'll lie down and just demonstrate that just in case you're not sure. So the leg is staying hip height, ankle to ankle, knee to knee. So rotating through the hip area, getting a nice bit of rotation. Body is staying as steady as we can. We're just using that thigh bone in the hip socket again. That feeling okay? Yeah. Alright. As much rotation as you can manage on this side. Remember, both legs are going to feel a little different. So just work with your mobility and flexibility on this side. And we'll see how we get on. Try and keep that foot flexed as well, just to keep the leg nice and active. Well done. We'll go for a few more. Last 5. Last 4. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Let that top leg rest down, tap it out, massage it out, shake it out, anything you need to do. Alright, so we're going to take the top leg long this time. Point the toe or flex the foot. And we're tapping in front. Bring it up, just raising it about hip height, and then tapping it behind. So it's like making a little triangle shape, tapping at the front, lifting it in the center, and tapping it behind. Keep the body nice and steady as we tap at the front, lift, and tap behind. Lift in the center, tap to the front, lift, and lower. That's it. Try and keep the hips stacking. Take it nice and slow, there's no rush with it. The slower we go, the more control we're going to have. And when we're taking our foot to the back, when we're tapping it back, try and take it back as long as you can, maybe taking it back to the back line of your mat, really feeling the hamstrings and the glutes engage as you bring the toe to tap behind. Well done. Let's go for a few more. Body as steady as we can as we lift and tap. Last 3. Tap behind. Last 2. And last 1, tap forward, lift, and tap behind. Let the leg rest, tap it out, massage it out, shake it out, anything you need to do. Are we feeling okay? Alright, we're going to go for one of my favourites. I don't really know why this became my favourite, but I seem to, we seem to do it every time. And I think it's just good for our whole leg. So the top hand, if we have had it in front, it might just be easier to bring it to our waist or maybe slightly behind us just for that extra bit of space in front of us. Then we're drawing our knee in towards our chest and extending that leg nice and long. Keep your foot flexed in this one. Keep the leg about hip height so it's not getting any rest against the lower leg. Bringing your knee into your chest as much as possible and then extending it long. And as we kick it long, again, remember bringing it in line with the back line of your mat if you can, so that way you can really feel those hamstrings and glutes engage at the back line of the body. That's it. Well done. Remember the lower leg can still be bent for that extra stability. Well done. Nice and slow. Let's go for our last 4. Last 3. Last 2, last 1. Alright, let the leg rest, tap it out, shake it out, massage it out. And we've just got one left on this side. Our last one is just going to be coming back to that leg lift, but we're just going to lift towards the sky. So the top leg is long, the toe is pointed or flexed, and we're just lifting it to the sky, this time in the center, keeping it about hip height. When we bring it back down, lifting and lowering. That's it. Trying to keep our hips stacked so we're feeling like we're using the side of the leg. That's it. Keep your hip rolling slightly more forward from the Angie. That's it. And then you'll feel the side of the leg a little bit more. There you go. Well done. Yeah, looking good. Keeping the hip rolling slightly more forward for me. Feel it in the IT band. Last 4. Last 3, last 2, last 1. Alright, let the leg rest down, tap it out, massage it out. If you want to lie onto your back in between and do a little bit of movement, you're welcome to. Otherwise, we're rolling to face the mirror. And we're going to do those ones on the side. Alright. So as you lie onto your other side, you can come back down to that extended arm, rest your head down onto the upper arm, if that feels good. Stacking the knees, stacking the ankles, bending both legs. Trying to bring your shoulder, hip and ankle in one line, so that means the knees are quite far forward, so that we get that nice alignment. Okay, and then we're flexing that top foot, and we're taking it about hip height, and then we're going to bring ankles to touch, knees to touch. That nice rotation into that hip area. Keep the body nice and steady as we just rotate through that hip. Well done. And if you find that you're doing a lot of movement of the body, that just means you're going a little fast, so slow it right down, and then just think about ankles touch, knees touch, ankles touch, knees touch. That's it. Nice, well done. That nice rotation. Keep breathing as we're lying on our side. The breath helping you to maintain that stability in the body, and the leg movement is just challenging that stability. Okay, last 4, last 3, last 2, last 1. All right, let the leg rest. We're going to try and prevent our hip replacements. Make sure that leg is nice and relaxed again. Okay, top leg is extended long this time. We're taking it still to hip height, and then we're tapping it down to the front of the mat, back lifted in the center, tapping it behind us. Lifting in the center, tap to the front, lift in the center, tap to the back. So that nice little triangular shape. As we take the leg behind us, try and bring it towards the back line of your mat. That's it. Work those hamstrings at the back of the leg. Keeping the body nice and steady if we can, as much as we can. Tap, lift, tap, lift, and tap to the front. Let's go for last 3. Last 2. And last 1. Tap behind, lift, and return. Well done. Let the leg have a moment to tap it out, massage it out, shake it out. Nearly there. So top leg is doing that little chest to extension one this time. So the top leg is about hip height again. We're flexing the top foot, and then drawing your knee in towards your chest and extending it out long. Really extending it towards the back line of the mat so we can feel the hamstrings and the glutes. Pressing it nice and long. Press into that heel. Almost taking a little pause as we extend it long. So we really activate the back line of the leg. That's it. Lovely. Body nice and steady. Try and have as little movement in the lower back and the pelvis area. So it's not about getting more movement in the leg by using the body. It's that stability in the body and this hip socket and thigh bone doing all the work. All right. Let's go for our last 4. Last 3, last 2, last 1. All right, let that leg rest, tap it out, shake it out, massage it out. Last little set is our leg lifts. So as we line up this top leg, it's pointed or flexed. It's about hip height to start us off. Maybe even slightly rotating to bring your heel a little higher and drop your big toe down towards the mat. That'll just make sure that we're trying to keep the hips nice and steady and aligned. And then we're lifting the heel towards the sky if you want to think about it like that. So we really work the outer side of our leg and our hip area. Yep, just even, all I'm just thinking is, yeah, keeping that leg rotated so that we're not using the quads, we're using the side of the leg. I think you got it anyway. That's it. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Point the toe or flex the foot. Don't forget to keep the leg nice and active. All right. Last 4, last 3, last 2, last 1. All right. You can take a little rest, shake it out, massage it out, lie onto your back for a moment if you want. That's going to be the end of our hard work. We've just got a bit of time now to stretch it out and shake it out before we finish. So take another few moments there. If it feels good to stretch the body out on your back or in a child's pose or anything else that feels good right now. We're going to be finishing standing, so whenever you feel like you've enough movement on your back or you're on your mat, let's say, done, you can start to make your way up to standing. Not as a relaxing a finish as our yoga classes where we get to finish in Shavasana. We just want to make sure we leave with as little tension in our body after Pilates as possible. So we'll bring our feet hip width apart, or just about, and we'll do a little stretch into the side of the body just to start off. So when you're ready, take an inhale, take your arms overhead, come to prayer, and then exhale, we'll lean to the right, stretch through the side of the body. Inhale, come back to center, exhale, lean left. We'll do that one more time each side. Inhale, back to center, exhale, lean right. Inhale, back to center, exhale, lean left. Okay, back to center, let the arms come down, give a couple of rolls of the shoulders in both directions. We'll take the legs a little wider, soften the knees, let the legs be relaxed, and then we're just swaying to look over each shoulder, let the arms be nice and loose. Let the breath be not controlled now, just let the breath come to its natural rhythm. Let the arms just really sway, release all the tension in the body. We want to just try and leave as much tension here on our mat and not take it with us after class. So we'll go for last 5, last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly coming back to center. Take a moment if you feel a little dizzy. Always do when I come back to center. Okay, we'll take our feet back to about hip width apart. A couple of rolls to the shoulders again. And then we're just going to stretch out our neck just to make sure we haven't held on to any tension in the neck area. So we'll take our chin towards our right shoulder, just looking over your right shoulder. Chin back to center. Look over your left. Back to center, we'll do that one more time each side. To the right, stretch the side of the neck, back to center, and to the left, and back to center. We'll take our chin towards the sky, but think about lengthening through the back of the neck, really opening through the chest and the neck at the front of the body. And then lower your chin towards your chest, lengthening the back of the neck into the upper back. Again, chin towards the sky, lifting and lengthening, not crunching into the back of the neck. And then lower your chin down towards your chest, lengthen through the back of the neck, chin as low as you can take it. Okay, coming back up to center. And then we'll drop our right ear to our right shoulder, maybe lifting your left arm if that feels nice to deepen it a little more. Back to center, left ear, left shoulder, maybe lift your right arm. A nice side stretch. We'll do that one more time each side. Right ear, right shoulder. Drop the shoulder away from the ear. And then back to center, left ear, left shoulder. Maybe lifting the arm. Okay, back to center. Last couple of rolls in both directions. Seeing how the body feels now. If you want to take a moment just to be present with your body and notice if there's anything else you need to shake out or stretch out before you go, you're welcome to come back down to the mat or do anything else you need. I'm going to press stop here. And I'm here if there's any questions.